Good morning. Thank you for the introduction. I want to express my appreciation to the Center for Bhutan Studies and Gross National Happiness Studies, and also especially to Dasha Karma Ura for the invitation here, and all of you who have come from many countries and also Bhutan. The title of my presentation today is International Business Students Prepare for Economic Cooperation, Harmony, and Service. There are many universities today which are an integration of degree-granting institutions, community partnerships, and incubator experiences for professional skill development. Over the past 5 years, great changes have taken place to allow students to gain a world-class degree where their campus is not limited to campus gates and buildings. Private universities create partnerships with companies and international institutions and agencies to gain a variety of options for student academic experiences. The Consortium for Global Education, as you heard in the introduction, began 30 years ago. It is an organization where the presidents of the 44 universities serve as the board. So we have a great vision from all of those individuals as they lead their individual campuses. We were formed to develop international relationships for students, faculty, and for leadership on the university. We conduct research, we construct and organize comprehensive teaching and learning experiences for both faculty and students who want to engage in the world and who want to make a difference. And I think that's what we have been hearing these past couple of days. Individuals can make a difference. Students view the world as a laboratory, not just a sphere of latitudes and longitudes. Working in 91 countries, the 44 member universities represent more than 127,000 undergraduate students, almost 7,000 faculty, and about 5,000 international students. The mission of an internationalized or globalized campus is for every student during his or her years of degree study to have some experience to learn about, engage, or work in cooperation with internationals, weaving together the strands of compassion and service. There are 39 universities we represent in the United States. The others are in the UK, France, Lebanon, Italy, Lithuania, and China. And as you see in the last bullet point on that slide, I want to remark that service is a big part of the consortium and all of the programs that are initiated from our individual campuses. Each program, yes, has quality academic insights and the accreditation. To be a member of this consortium, you must be a university who is accredited by one of the national accrediting bodies in the United States or the country where you are located. But each of our programs and cooperation also has a component of service and sharing. And that's what I'm going to talk a little bit about today in the business arena for education. Research drives the initiative for students as they expand their horizons. One piece of research from the OECD, or Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, published a 112-page report called Trends for Shaping Education 2016. 34 member nations represent 63% of the world GDP. A major concern of researchers is the rapid change in the global economic balance. Today, China, Brazil, India are among the world's 10 largest economies. As international trade increases, with this transformation in the balance of economic power, the gap between the rich and poorer nations continues to widen and is now at the highest level in 30 years. The upcoming generation of students who are globally mobile and technologically engaged in social media, they must interact and engage with all sorts and sizes of international business as a key to forming relationships with a broad spectrum of nations, not just the powerhouse nations. For this reason, in our experience, business degree programs at many of the universities that we work with are incorporating overseas studies as a required part of the syllabus. Students are spending a few weeks or up to an entire semester or a year studying in an overseas university, taking courses in their field of study, conducting internships with foreign companies, and studying languages that are helpful to their future professions. Students often engage in courses and have an internship as a shared study abroad program. One of our study abroad programs in Sydney, Australia, offers students this combined study style opportunity. And in that particular program in Sydney, a student in any degree program has an opportunity for an internship. An important component is not just the preparation to complete a degree, but now it's very important to also have the preparation for professional development. A short-term study abroad example is one that I'm going to share with you a little bit about right now, and that's an entrepreneurial project that some of our universities are engaged in Yangon, Myanmar. This project is to create small industries that partner with orphaned and vulnerable youth who need to work, or they need to develop a trade to support themselves or even possibly their families. University students working together with others create solutions for the needy and advanced skills for student partners. The teams consist of local experts who provide cultural knowledge and language capability. The structure of an NGO is also very important in that area to have a community base. Also, understanding and locating student needs. The overseas student team pairs with the local expert and targeted student program. Microfunding, as we looked at this model, we discovered is best raised by the students who are going as expatriate students overseas, and that is in place when the project begins. So our universities help the students who are going raise the funds for microenterprise, or sometimes the students raise the fund through their families and friends. Also, faculty from one of our campuses assist in working out the components of accreditation and accommodation. In one of these particular micro businesses, I was able to observe myself. Most of them, the students who are going to Myanmar to participate in the program can engage in this for as little as $500 to develop a micro enterprise. The one that you see on the slide ahead of you was a little bit more than $900 because of the scope of the need there. This particular storefront that you see the individuals sitting there was developed to meet a community need to have products closer to the village area, as individuals would have to pass by down this narrow road each day to buy just the simple everyday products. So it was decided that a store was necessary and could meet several needs. What is exciting about this is that as this storefront developed, it also had a consciousness to help a local orphanage, and that's what you see there with the children standing in front of that building. This orphanage has about 20 students in it, and they are helped also by this micro business. So it's very exciting for students in the United States and other places to engage in this kind of cooperative effort, where in 6 weeks or so, working as a team together, they can actually create a business need for someone that needs it in order to sustain themselves. Everyone comes away a winner. In other Southeast Asian nations, Hill tribe groups in Thailand have engaged students in starting small enterprises to make and sell hammocks. Another example is bamboo bicycle frames have been developed. In Laos, new types of tea leaves have been processed, and in Cambodia, new formulas have been developed for better building blocks to replace concrete blocks. In the Middle East, another example I just quickly wanted to share is an entrepreneurial program where a young lady saw a need for detection of early signs of stroke. This student in Jordan actually wrote the software, ordered an instrument off of Amazon, had it delivered to her home, and put together this computer program that just with a simple beam of light into the eye, it can detect the blood vessels that may be constricting, and later an individual may have a stroke. It was very exciting to see this partnership develop, and local businesses and other expatriate individuals became very much engaged with that. So I think that there is a world just waiting for new technologies, new ideas, and it just takes one person recognizing a need and deciding to do something about it. Interviews with these students highlighted their self-expressed life changes and experiences that created harmony not only for themselves and their institutions, but also the whole community. Additionally, they learned the power of one person's impact in certain areas can tip their unbalanced economic scale into a positive movement. The Greek author Plutarch, who lived from 46 to 120 AD in the first century, said, "What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality." Think about that. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. Another piece of research that I just want to highlight for a couple of minutes is from Toffler, and they developed at their Center for Strategic and International Studies 40 drivers of change that will shape globalization over the next 40 years. It's from a Future States Forum, Future Shock to the Fourth Wave research. Researchers indicated that young people currently entering the workforce will experience 10 to 14 major career changes in their professional lives. By 2050, these changes can affect government, business, technology, educational institutions, and the values and norms. Of the 40 Toffler reported drivers of change, I've just listed 4 here that appear to have significant relevance.
You have 2.5 minutes, please.
For higher education. You'll see those there. Non-nation state groups will create pervasive challenges. Philanthrocapitalists like the Gates Foundation will yield more influence in shaping education than some developing nation states. And someone mentioned that in their presentation yesterday. I think Walmart was the example they gave. Access to specialists globally will influence innovation rather than influence coming of traditional research centers. And knowledge is going to become more and more important. By 2050, 80% of the technologies in use today will have been replaced, meaning that graduates will need to change their knowledge capacity via retraining. In the future, student campus experiences may not end with traditional graduation, but yet with a passport as they engage and as an experienced global citizen. A Middle Easterner, also in the first century, said, this was Paul of Tarsus, "Examine yourselves, test yourselves, learn that there is more in you than yourself alone." Within ourselves, we have choices in the middle of change. The changes are to create the atmosphere of schools of international business where students can make a difference. They can make a difference for parts of the world that experience fear, poverty, or the horrors of war, suffering, and disease. Yesterday, a speaker also mentioned, after this conference, what are we going to do? So I want to close by sharing with you one example of what I think our efforts in universities, higher education, and business can do. There will be a conference in June 13 to 20, 2018, I'm sorry, that's an error, 2018 at Liverpool Hope University, which is our UK university. I would like for Dr. Wendy Bignell to stand. She is the coordinator of this program, just so you can see her. Thank you, that's very kind of you. But if you will see her, I know that she would be interested in students and leaders and youth leaders especially coming to that conference. So as we leave here today, we will be taking with us ideas. She will be taking with her ideas. Business will be one component. As you have other components of this conference, they will also. With encouragement and opportunity, university students worldwide can create changes that will someday create economic cooperation that creates a better world of economic stability with harmony for their partners and service to the world, needing strangers to become friends. Thank you.